Dragon Ball Fusions. It's really been almost a decade since it dropped. It was one of my favorite games on the 3DS and one of my favorite Dragon Ball games in general. What a lot of people remember about it is obviously the crazy fusions between classic Dragon Ball characters. And I mean, how could you not? It's the name of the game after all. But what a lot of people may not remember are the multitudes of unique original characters made for the game. Each one, while being a composite of assets from the main cast, have unique designs and their own, albeit short, backstories. I thought it would be fun to go over them and bring light to this insane cast of Dragon Ball OCs. And considering the release of the developer's newest game, Gekishin Squadra, I think it's a good time to do it. The plot of Dragon Ball Fusions involves a space-time tournament, meaning the characters are brought over not only from different timelines, but also different points in time. It's why Kid Goku can exist alongside Dragon Ball Super Goku, or alongside Pan, Kid Trunks, and Kid Goten. This means that these OC characters are not only foreign to the universe as we know, but could also come from any points in history within those timelines. There are 5 ranks of power in the game. While some ranks are questionable with the characters placed together, it's mostly so fan favorites can be viable in later portions of the game, despite them being weaker in the grand power scale of the story. It could also factor in the overall skill of the characters combined with their power. Hard to say. At the end of the day, the ranks do provide a general understanding of a character's placement in the power system. First, we have C rank, which is where characters considered generally weaker are placed. This includes Videl, Chiatsu, Yamcha, Raditz, Nappa, Bola, Goldo, and others like them. B rank has characters like Krillin, Trunks, Goten, the rest of the Ginyu Force, all the androids, Dabura, and Demon King Piccolo. A rank has Goku and Vegeta's lower forms, Bardock, Piccolo, Cooler, Majub, Janemba, Omega Shenron, Toa and Mira, Arale, and Broly. S rank is Frieza, Cell, Kid Buu, Zamasu, the Super Saiyan 4s, Mr. Satan, Super Saiyan 3 Broly, and Super Vegito. And finally, G rank has the god level characters like Beerus, Whis, the god form Saiyans, Champa, Vados, Hit, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Goku Black, and Fuse Zamasu. If you know the roster of the game, you know I didn't mention every character, but I wanted to say enough that you got a general idea of the power placements. I bring these ranks up because the original characters also fall into these, though none of them reach S or G in power. So I'll go from those in C rank and work my way up to A rank members. Keeping these in mind will allow you to at least get a general idea of how strong these characters are, if you want to power scale them somehow. I'll read out their profiles, and interject any interesting thoughts I have on them, if I have any. Many Saiyans exist throughout the tournament. Due to the sheer number of them, a decent population must come from timelines where their people weren't wiped out. Some retain their old Saiyan culture, and some integrate with the other civilizations in the universe, making them have plenty of variety both aesthetically and personality-wise. It's hard to tell where they come from in the timeline, but unlike most other races, Saiyan armor designs make it easier to estimate. Z-Bar, a young Saiyan who was forced to attend high school on Earth since his parents are obsessed with academics. He ended up becoming a major delinquent. Basically, this is a bad timeline Gohan if he achieved Chi-Chi's greatest fears. His moveset showcases his unruly nature, such as the Attack Shout, Crusher Ball, Group Taunt, and Spirit Eyes. Lissy, a super fast and chick Saiyan girl. She hates people and things that aren't stylish and blows them away without thinking. Her techniques to deal with those without fashion sense include Energy Blade, Twin Cannon, Mach Move, and Speed Shout. Yashimo, a Saiyan who became interested in demons and Majin and seeks their power. He can already use some of their moves. And some of those demonic moves include Body Change, Devil Might Beam, Hellzone Grenade, and Lightning Shower Rain. Leganon, an unusual Saiyan who moved to Earth to do business there. He has a complex about his short height and dyed his hair blonde so people wouldn't tease him. We got a guy here with a bigger Napoleon complex than even Vegeta. In Japan, dyeing your hair blonde can be seen as a sign of delinquency.
It's that Super Saiyan I hate! Why did everyone in my family become so delinquent?
So it's probably meant to be an intimidation tactic. And since he's a Saiyan, it probably doubles as evoking fear of a short-tempered Super Saiyan. Much like Z-Bar, he came to Earth in order to better his future, so maybe they came from the same timeline. Yunali, the daughter of a CEO of a Saiyan conglomerate on another planet. She's received an elite education and is skilled at just about everything. The concept of Saiyans running some mega corporation is really funny to me. Goes to show how different some of these timelines are from the one we're familiar with. She specializes in support moves like cover, guard boost, and heal beam. Plauto. Due to his gentle and kind nature, this young Saiyan quit his job as a soldier. He entered the tournament after his friend asked him to. His skills as a soldier taught him moves like Bullet Rush, Cover, Kill Driver, Containment, and Universal Explosion. Prika, a Saiyan girl who loves training even more than midnight snacks. Often developing new moves, she makes her Saiyan friends help out with training. Due to their collaborative efforts, she develops the Beast Roar, Quick Rush, Scissors Paper Rock Rush, Super Planet Bomb, and being able to create barriers. Wasabi, a Saiyan warrior who learned magical art since he lacked battle sense. His creepy smile can paralyze opponents with fear. You can find Wasabi early on paired with some Cybermen, because as the description stated, he's not physically strong on his own. Yet, he knows some very powerful abilities like Paralysis, creating copies of himself, Spirit Eyes, and even being able to open the Dead Zone if he trains hard enough. Kikli, or Kisly, I don't know. A girl who came to admire Super Saiyans after reading about one in a picture book. She entered the tournament to get a Super Saiyan's autograph. She knows the move Mimicry, meaning Kikli can copy a special move from her opponent. In her fascination with Super Saiyans, she has learned some of their techniques like Galactic Donuts and Scissors Paper Rock Rush. Sage, a strong Saiyan who's invaded many planets despite being a low-class warrior. Barbaric and cold, he'll take anyone on, even women and children. Judging by his armor, he comes from the classic era of Saiyan civilization under Frieza's control. His cruel nature certainly aligns well with it. Another piece of evidence is that he knows Kui's iconic Lord Frieza distraction, so he believes Frieza's name holds weight. He's a kill driver and double Sunday enjoyer. Huki, a boy who decided to enter the tournament as a supporter since he isn't good at fighting. He has a kind heart and can't ignore injured people. Judging by his armor resembling ROF Vegeta, we can assume he's a Saiyan from the Super era in terms of timeline placement, or even far in the future. Quillen, a Saiyan boy who's infamous for his tall tales and deception. He's rivals with Sasito, and they often have prank competitions. He knows quite a few Gotenks techniques, as his devious playful nature make it a perfect match. Rucola, a Saiyan girl who's obsessed with fashion. She is especially keen on Earth fashion, and removed her tail because she thought it looked silly. Wow, her and Toriyama would be best friends. Cress, a Saiyan boxer who moved to Earth. His monstrous strength made it so that he rarely ever loses. He came to this world searching for new... Okay, one issue with fusions is that there's a lot of translation errors. Some of them are simple like this, then in others they switch characters' pronouns around. So it makes some parts difficult to navigate, but I'll do my best. Even though it's cut off at the end, we can assume it means he came to Earth in search for strong opponents and challenges. He knows some melee moves like Buster Rush and Monster Throw. Goyan, a crafty Saiyan thug who fights by using traps and trickery and never tries to take his opponents head on. This guy's fiendishly dirty little tricks include Lord Beerus, Paralysis, Scissors Paper Rock Rush, and Dai Missile Barrage. Now that's it for the C-Rank Saiyans. I forgot to mention this before, but C-Rank mainline Saiyans would include characters like Raditz, Nappa, and Gine. So basically, the majority of their race. To those B-Rank and beyond, they're approaching limits most Saiyans in history never got to achieve. Just for a little refresher, B-Rank includes Dodoria, Zarbon, the Ginyu Force, Turles, the Androids, and Dabura. So yeah, we're already hitting some of the strongest Saiyans in history. Narmis. Normally, she acts arrogant, but she just has trouble showing how she really feels. She gets a crush on people who defeat her. Narmis led a team against Tekka, the default main character, in the Cell Games arena. Chocli, a girl who fights quickly to cover for the fact that she has a small body. She hates being treated like a girl, so she dresses like a boy. She knows fast and wild attacks from characters like Berter and Bardock, such as the Final Spirit Cannon, Mach Kick, and Speed Boost. Nira, a physically strong female warrior who trains under the belief that there is no greater attack than a solid punch. She knows moves like Spirit Blade, Buster Rush, Fighting Shout, and Monster Crash. Tiber, a galactic patrolman. His eyes and words may seem a bit scary, but he has a strong sense of justice and strives to vanquish evil. While a lot of the Saiyans thus far haven't necessarily been bad guys, this is one of the few that actively fights for peace and justice, as to be expected of the Galactic Patrol. This sense of justice attracts him to other like-minded individuals, who I will go into later. He defends the universe with moves like Destructo Disc, Twin Cannon, and Spirit Cannon. Shallot, a Saiyan who's 1/4 Earthling. She came to the tournament to make friends with strong people and is very innocent and naive. Well, looks like Legends stole from Dragon Ball Fusions. For shame. Jokes aside, this character has an interesting design, looking like a mix of Bardock, Gine, Goku, and Vegeta. Her biological makeup is similar to Pan, and she knows some powerful variations of the Gallic Gun and Double Sundae. She even knows Gogeta's Soul Punisher and Aralé's Poop Stick. Gauri, a Saiyan mercenary who will take on any job if the price is right. He'll do anything to complete his missions, even if it means sacrificing a friend. This Widow's Peak Vegeta wannabe utilizes moves like Final Flash, Spirit Eyes, Soul Punisher, After Image, and Arts Rush. Mint, a Saiyan who's 1/4 Offworlder and is trained in other worlds. She's surprisingly polite for a Saiyan, but gets scary when she's mad. She utilizes powerful moves like Zarbon's Elegant Blaster, Nova Shenron's Burning Spin, and Nekomajin's Neko Hameha. An interesting thing to point out about Mint is that being 1/4 Offworlder means that one of her parents had to be half Saiyan and half Offworlder. Mebats, a Saiyan warrior who controls flame. He's also very obnoxious and energetic, which can even overwhelm his allies sometimes. In the bid to gather the Dragon Balls, he and Zema are duped by Emperor Pilaf and eventually have their Dragon Ball stolen. Zysa, a strong housewife who also fights as a warrior. She was strong enough to tame her Saiyan husband and has defeated many an enemy. She knows powerful techniques like Attack Shout, Hell Smash, Hyper Mach Kick, Limit Breaker, and Power Boost. Rakyo, a Saiyan who was so impressed by Earth Samurai, he became one. He excels in cutting techniques with Ki Blast and his katana. He can be found on the Namekian Gigi's team at the Cell Games Arena, facing off against our heroes. As an excellent swordsman, he knows moves like the Spirit Blade, Dual Edge Slash, Destructo Disc, and Whirlwind Blade. Lomin, a Kenpo master who chose the Time-Space Tournament as the site of his last battles before retirement. His hardened techniques include Beast Roar, Buster Smash, Hyper Mach Kick, and Raging Rush. Heiya, lazy and loves to sleep. He uses Ki Blast and cheap tricks to keep his enemies confused and far away from him. These cheap tricks include Blaze Pillar and Blast Cannon. Rakyo, a warrior who excels in sword fighting. He's old, but has survived many battles, and is still a force to be reckoned with. His experience through the years of battle taught him moves like Attack Shout, Speed Shout, Galactic Ray, Masterwork Sword Slash, and Spirit Blade. Garatz, a hot-blooded Saiyan who values spirit and guts. He has a daughter and tells her dumb jokes even though it annoys her. He uses moves like Monkey Business, It Was Too Far to Fly, and You Can't Tune a Fish, which is a reference to the jokes used to convince King Kai to train students. Garatz might have used these to get said training from him, as he can utilize Maximum Kaioken to boost his power many times over. And you know, if he did train with King Kai, he must not be that bad of a guy. Naz, a cool, tough female Saiyan. Her father, Garatz, annoys her, but deep down, she's a gentle soul. Naz seems to have a similar haircut to her dad, probably a sign that she loves him deep down, despite how much she's embarrassed by him. Paprika, a Saiyan warrior in training. He's Penich's friend, and can never turn down a request. But when he gets angry, he totally loses control. Paprika would join up with Penich, Tekka's rival, along with the Earthling Wanta, and together they develop a strong camaraderie. They would stick with Penich all the way until the finals of the tournament, even teaming up with Frieza and Cell to complete their team. Eventually, they would combine into an intimidating Ultra fusion called Ultra Penich. After their defeat, they learn the error of their ways and dedicate to getting stronger together. Zema, a barbaric Saiyan who loves to stand out. His moves are also flashy, and he doesn't care if they hit his allies, so watch out! As explained earlier, he and Mibats had their Dragon Balls stolen by Pilaf's gang. With his armor and personality, it's safe to assume he's from the time of Frieza's rule over the Saiyan race. Soga, a young Saiyan who traveled to Earth after hearing rumors about Master Roshi. He's young, but has a lot of potential. Mr. Potential Man here dedicated himself to learning many of the Turtle School techniques, like the Kamehameha, Wolf Fang Fist, and Turtle-style Last Resort. Biwala, a Saiyan who started training under an Offworlder after gaining an interest in their odd powers. He moves gracefully, but hasn't lost his Saiyan power. The otherworldly powers he learned include Paralysis, Hellzone Grenade, Hyper Tornado, and Minus Energy Powerball. Benas, a Saiyan who became effeminate due to peer pressure from Offworlders on a planet he invaded. He trains to keep his body beautiful and elegant. Benas can first be seen with Kloa, an Earthling who embraces a similar elegant style. Together, they teach Tekka's team some basics, like how to use Ki Blasts. He appears to be very nice despite having the menacing eyes of Frieza. Zucchini, a Saiyan warrior trainer. He's strict and gets physical with his training, but has sent many skilled warriors out into the galaxy. As a tutor, he knows some powerful techniques to teach his students, like the Beast Roar, Hyper Gallic Gun, and Hyper Kill Driver. Cicito, a mischievous kid who loves to play jokes. He's obsessed with developing moves to taunt his enemies with. He's agile and a quick runner. Considering their differences in rank, Krillin must be the weaker warrior in their rivalry. And just like him, Cicito knows Gotenks' moves like Galactic Donuts and Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. And here we hit the A-rank Saiyans. These guys would be at the level of Goku and Vegeta, anywhere from their base forms to pre-Super Super Saiyan 3, as Dragon Ball Super's Super Saiyan 3 is an S rank. These warriors even potentially reach the heights of Majin Buu, Janemba, and Omega Shenron. They are some of the strongest under the heavens and the elites of Saiyan society. Jagamo, a Saiyan who works as a guard captain on another planet. He's an elite who has survived many battles, and his strength has earned him great trust. This Saiyan army veteran knows first-rate techniques like Arts Rush, Beast Roar, Gallic Gun variants, Solar Flare, and Planet Bomb. Sesame. This is one of the first instances of translation errors because she's clearly listed as a female, denoted by the symbol, but the pronouns are he, him. She believes that she's the legendary Super Saiyan and has undergone harsh training to prove it. She's a very skilled fighter. Through her harsh training, Sesame learns moves like the Hyper Tornado, Raging Rush, and Beast Roar. When she reaches level 100, she can ascend to the level of Super Saiyan. Rubub, a skilled Saiyan assassin. His monstrous Saiyan strength and speed have helped him to finish all his missions without fail. His assassination techniques include Darkness Sword Attack, Masenko, Burning Attack, Darkness Twister, and Death Beam. Stabba, an energetic old lady who's been retired for a while but couldn't resist when she heard about the tournament. She's very skilled at Kenpo. This old Saiyan woman has some amazing techniques, truly earning her spot in A rank with the Power Pole combo, Turtle Style Last Resort, and the Dragon Fist, being the only character in this game who can learn it outside of Goku. Squash, the champion of a tournament held by Ancient Saiyans. He has a special move that utilizes his true Saiyan talents to their maximum potential. The wording of Ancient makes me believe this guy could be pre-Planet Vegeta and may have lived on Sadala. As an A-rank fighter, it's no wonder he became a champion. He's able to use the Kaioken, which is the special move that maximizes his Saiyan power. However, once you bring him to level 99, he can learn Super Saiyan. An ancient Saiyan who was champion of his people and had Super Saiyan. Yamoshi, is that you? Khalif, an elite female warrior who's stronger than most of her Saiyan peers. Cool and high-handed, she has no mercy on her enemies. Her techniques include Blast Cannon, Death Ball, Energy Burst, Sexy Smile, and Quick Rush. Nenjo, a Saiyan who's 1/4 Offworlder. He's very capricious and will go berserk from the slightest offense. He wants to be a hero. Despite his mood swings and violent demeanor, that desire to become a hero shows he probably has a good heart deep down. He's 1/4 Offworlder, and that's probably what resulted in his completely dark eyes. Much like Mint, being 1/4 Offworlder means one of his parents was both half Saiyan and half Offworlder. Buka, an evil Saiyan who became infamous after he went berserk on some planets. He's good at turning his ki into blades. As described, he is an expert with Keyblades, more than likely slicing down many victims with them. He's an A-rank fighter, so he at bare minimum can contend with the base forms of Goku and Vegeta, and therefore those planets probably never stood a chance. He dominated these planets with moves like Hyper Blast Cannon, Dual Edge Slash, Energy Blade, and Shining Sword Attack. Now we're on to Earthlings, one of the most numerous races in the tournament, with many people coming from different corners of time and space with one thing for sure in common. Earth is their home. Manel, a young genius who likes to act cool. He's more of a sidekick type, but he thinks he could take on anything. This is shown through his support moves like Cover and Guard Boost, but he also knows offensive moves like Energy Cannon and Tri-Beam. Stella, a dainty girl in training who supports her friends with her sweet smile. She's very cautious and has high defense. She's also gifted in psychic abilities as she knows Hyper Psychokinesis and Illusion Thunder. Denish, a pure-hearted young martial artist. Since he's so pure, he's easily fooled. During the Time-Space tournament, Bra opens up a clothing shop and she gives Tekka's team a quest to promote it. Denish is interested and eventually makes his way over there. Upon their first meeting, Bra eventually develops a crush on him, but his naivety makes him blind to her advances. This causes her to stage getting kidnapped multiple times to attract his attention, only to be annoyed when Tekka's team mistakenly arrives, thinking it's a genuine kidnapping. She even hires bodyguards to defeat them due to their constant interference. Denish himself boasts some support moves like Guard Boost, Speed Boost, and being able to unleash the potential of his allies like Guru or Elder Kai. Kalon, a girl who's studying martial arts in order to overcome her shyness. She values safety over all else. Kalon utilizes multiple moves to heal and up the guard of herself and allies, along with Lullaby Punch to put her opponents to sleep. Pisket, a martial artist who will do anything to win. He has a varied skill set, including Ki Blast, Melee, and Interference moves. These include a Galactic Patrol Elite Beam Gun, Gravity Blast, Quick Rush, Super Whirlwind Blade, and Super Elegant Blaster. Peko, a female martial artist who always gives it her all. Her powerful Ki Blasts keep all the guys who want to date her far, far away. She approaches Tekka's team with an aggressive and pushy demeanor, but only because she knew the team was strong. This poor girl gets her underwear stolen by a familiar lecherous pig, and depending on how you handle him, she will either let him go with a warning or fight you for letting him go without her say-so. Chinjiao, a multi-talented martial artist who doesn't want to just win, but relish the process of battle. He appears with random, various questionable groups, and also as hired muscle for Bra. He uses underhanded tactics against his opponents with Lord Frieza, Golden Present Bomb, Neo Solar Flare, Scissors Paper Rock Rush, and Revenge Death Ball. Does throwing around tricks like that really make him a multi-talented martial artist? Well, as a wise martial arts master from Fist of the North Star once said, hey, as long as it works. Sanla, a supporter who backs up her allies from the rear. Their support moves include All Guard Boost, All Power Boost, All Speed Boost, Ki Pass, and Unleash Potential. Makaru, a martial artist who got fat after eating too much in order to gain stamina. Sometimes he wishes he could get slim again, but food is too delicious. Oh, do I know your troubles, brother. His moveset is comprised of guard boosting abilities, jokes and gags, and Ki Blasts like Maximum Buster. Quinny, small and timid, but strong, has a move called No! Stop! She joins Piccolo's team early on in the game, most likely receiving training from him. Her moves are Flying Miracle Bomber, Full Power Kamehameha, Mach Move, and Universal Explosion. Ampa, a pseudo-elite martial artist who tries his best to act like an elite would. He believes his cloak is the greatest elite symbol there is. Like with Quinny, he joined Piccolo's team early on. He uses a beam gun like Jaco, and also has techniques like Missile Rush, Galactic Ray, God of Destruction's Jest, Handsome Smile, Headshot, Shooting Rain, and Sphere of Destruction. Hoji, a martial artist researcher who has a lot of knowledge on different styles. He often says, "Yeah, I think I've heard about that somewhere." Some of the crazy techniques Hoji knows are Dead Zone, Destructo Disc, Dimension Rush, Scatter Shot, and Solar Flare. Chowda, a veteran who's been calling himself a hero for 80 years. He goes wild to keep the younger fighters from overtaking him, but he's actually never lost. Observing his equipment, Chowda either has connections with some space civilizations, or he personally developed some Galactic Patrol level technology on his own. He has an elite beam gun, uses dual edge slash, and the legendary sword slash. Kalpachov, an old martial artist who aims to win the time-space tournament with his experience. He can paralyze opponents with his bad jokes. Kalpachov can be found early on with Hoji and Ampa, more than likely training and guiding the two. His wide array of moves include the Kamehameha, Legendary Sword Slash, and Power Pole combo. Assam. He likes to see himself fight and win, but loves himself even when he loses. We love to see a self-respecting king out here. He knows moves like Hyper Hurricane, Muscle Blast, and Slicing Kick. B rank is where most humans would cap out in power, so these warriors would compete with characters like Tien, Krillin, and the androids. Pepperon, an all-out attacker with childlike innocence. Hey, watch it! That really hurts! Okay, geez, I'm sorry. She must have trained with King Kai, as she utilizes both gags and the Kaioken. Cuts, a calculating martial artist. He has the ability not to guess his opponent's attacks, but rather how much money they make. He has a unique pool of attacks, including distractions, present bombs, and lullaby punch. Baguetta, a woman who dyed her hair and started training in order to become something other than normal. But normal is the hardest thing to be. So deep. Put that on a shirt right now. She is a strong supporter with powerful offensive attacks, utilizing Maiden Burst, Planet Bomb, Healing Shout, and Unleash Potential. Powa. He's good at using Ki for healing purposes, and prefers to heal his allies rather than fight enemies. Despite this, he can also use the full power Kamehameha, Gravity Blast, and Turtle-style Last Resort. Eclaine. She's so mature that she never sweats the small stuff, not even small attacks, since she's got a lot of stamina. With powerful Ki techniques, she can overwhelm her opponents while upping both her attack and guard with support moves. Waffen, a bit of a villain. When he gets hit, he starts talking like a girl for some reason. I don't know what that means if he just starts talking high-pitched or something. Might explain why he knows Fighting Shout along with his other moves. Stroni, a slightly imposing woman who has pretty bad luck. Perhaps because she's up to no good? Angry Rush, Attack Shout, and Revenge Deathball showcase the rage she must have deep down. Damji, skilled in defense and predicting attacks with his sharp eyes. Or so he seems. He's actually quite careless. This wild, careless style is showcased through his moveset, which consists of Darkness Twister, Whirlwind Blade, Gravity Blast, and Spirit Ball. Hannah. Ever since she started training, her post-training meals have tasted so good that she ended up getting a bit chubby. It makes her more resilient though. She knows Buster Rush, Hazard Breath, and Healing Shout. Wanta, a fledgling martial artist. He lacks confidence and gets more nervous than any other. He, along with Paprika, joined Pinich to be a rival group to the protagonist. He backs up his friends with All Speed Boost, Dodon Ray, Pinich Combo, and Rolling Attack Pinich Punch. Terami, a genius girl who can control Ki Blast as she pleases. She never misses her mark. This sniper elite fires off moves like the Kamehameha, Spirit Ball, Destructo Disc, and Spirit Bomb. Quitch, a blonde warrior who loves to fight. He always tries to get the first strike and gets really panicked when that doesn't win it for him. Despite his weaknesses, he can utilize powerful Kamehameha variations and even absorb the Spirit Bomb for extra power. Android 33, an evil android created from Dr. Giro's villain database. Actually, he's just a thick-lipped person who's surprisingly nice. Similar to Android 16, Giro didn't program an evil personality within him, though he probably still desires to eliminate Goku. Like the older models, 33 can absorb energy through points in the palm of his hands. He can also utilize Keyblades like Salzo or Zamasu. Android 44, an evil android created from Dr. Giro's villain database. Actually, he only acts evil and is quite a nice person. Just like with number 33, you can actually see his brain. So potentially these androids are more like Gero himself rather than a fully robotic warrior. All the classic android abilities are here, like Barrier, Energy Drain, Great Explosion, and SS Deadly Bomber. Hoi Koli, a martial artist who takes his time in training himself. His eyes are so sharp that sometimes he can only see lines. The techniques he had developed in his training consist of After Image, Mimicry, Power Pole Combo, Solar Flare, and Spirit Blade. Kloa hated being teased over his feminine hairstyle. He became really buff. Still, beneath his strength is a feminine kindness. Just like BNAS, Kloa helps teach Tekka's team basic fighting techniques in order for them to train hard. He knows powerful Kamehameha variants along with Super Maiden Burst and support techniques. Mabon, a martial artist who looks up to Tien for his cool personality. He drew his third eye on with a permanent marker. Sadly, this means we don't have another member of the iconic Triclops tribe today, but instead a fanboy of its most well-known member. He knows a few of his moves like Solar Flare and Tri-Beam. Xiaoran, skilled in both stamina and hand-to-hand combat. He can also use a few psychic powers. He's good at self-destruct attacks. Just like Mabon being a Tien fanboy, Xiaoran must also be a Chiatsu fan. He could use multiple explosive waves and self-destruct techniques, and even power himself up with support moves to enhance them. Yamkun, a martial artist who doesn't have many moves, but prides himself in how much thought he's put into each one. These few moves are After Image, Buster Rush, Cover, Slicing Kick, and Wolfane Fist. Baba G, silent. Just silent. Dude, that's aura, bruh. This stoic elder knows moves like Angry Rush, Headshot, and Power Pole Frenzy. You wouldn't know just by his bio when looking at him, but he does know some gags, which may have given him training from King Kai since he also knows the Kaioken. Bion, a martial artist who hunts other martial artists. He's always naked so that he can fight anywhere. His sunglasses protect him from solar flares. He appears as another hired hand Brawhead to stop Tekka's team. He takes pride in his bulky body, using moves like Power Up, Muscle Burst, and Monster Crash. Shakora, a girl who's skilled not just at martial arts, but at gunfighting as well. Her overly calm brother annoys her. When Tekka's team enter their territory, they are deemed suspicious gang members by Gato. Shakora is hesitant about fighting them, but Gato persists that he's right. After their loss, she gets frustrated at his stubbornness and eventually calms him down. She utilizes a 22 caliber handgun, a 45 caliber handgun at a higher level, and can eventually get a Galactic Patrol beam gun. She also knows Android 18's Infinity Bullet and Bojack's Galactic Buster. Gato, a boy who's skilled not just at martial arts, but at gunfighting as well. Related to Chikora are related. He's calm and collected. I think there's, just a few translation errors here. Beyond the obvious middle part, we know this guy is far from calm and collected. He will be the first to accuse someone of wrongdoing over misunderstandings, but it seems his intentions are good at heart. He knows moves like the Galactic Buster and a weaker version of Super Boo's Assault Rain. He also utilizes the same weapons Shakora has. Gato, by the way, is the first A-rank Earthling on our list. Considering this is where characters like the pre-Dragon Ball Super Saiyan 3s, Piccolo, Broly, and Majin Buu all reside in, these are some of the strongest Earthlings in all of history. Marine, a girl with strange powers. If she targets someone, they almost always suffer a horrible fate. She is one of the most powerful psychics in the game with moves like Hyper Psychokinesis, Illusion Thunder, Mass Containment, Hyper Mystic Copy, and Dimension Rush. She even knows Frieza's Supernova. Jam, a crafty martial artist who uses clever tricks, luck, and super speed. Jam's techniques that utilize her many talents include Arts Rush, Blaze Pillar, Hyper Hurricane, Mach Move, Speed Boost, and Universal Explosion. Jaji, a martial artist with a third eye. He's actually short-sighted and can't see very well. So, about the no Triclops tribe thing I said earlier, but this guy's eyesight is so bad he may not be able to take advantage of his tribe's special third eye. Judging by his gi, and knowing techniques like Paralysis, Barrier, Dodon Ray, Tri-Beam, and Great Explosion, he may have trained under the Crane School like Tien. Along with that, he knows a few attacks from the Turtle School students like Mass Containment and Spirit Bomb. Oats, a sharp, self-disciplined female martial artist. She'll do anything for her training, even if it means diving into a time rift. She is initially found training as Tekka is looking to recruit new team members. Roshi wanted them to recruit some good-looking gals, similar to the task he gave Goku and Krillin in early Dragon Ball. Eventually, this leads to sparring against her. After successfully recruiting her, she heads back to Tekka's ship, much to the disappointment of Roshi. Oats' repertoire includes Attack Shout, Hyper Mach Kick, Key Pass, Planet Bomb, Slicing Kick, and Speed Up. Android 55, an evil android created from Dr. Gero's villain database. Actually, he only looks evil and is quite a nice person. Same deal I've said for the previous two androids, he seems to be someone whose brain was transplanted into a new body. He can use the SS Deadly Bomber like number 44, but is also capable of more 16 type attacks like Rocket Punch and Hell's Flash. Going by the ranking system, he is one of the strongest androids, competing with the likes of Machine Mutant Baby, Super 17, Magetta, Mira, and even Arale. Drawn, a bodyguard who looks good in suits. His sharp eyes have seen many battles, and their light can knock opponents back. He can focus this talent into the technique Hyper Spirit Eyes. His other moves are Galactic Ray, Handsome Smile, Infinity Cannon, and Neo Tri-Beam. Stroganoff. He hates crooked people and crushes evil with his iron fists. He isn't very good with Ki Blasts. While Tekka and friends were searching for the Dragon Balls, Stroganoff arrived with Escart, Nerul, and Horito to assist. All seemed well until they reveal they've all been possessed by the Sulfurian parasite Baby. When Pan inquired Baby's whereabouts, he revealed he had used Hirudegarn as his new host body. The possessed minions are eventually knocked out and return to normal after his defeat. Stroganoff's pool of moves include melee techniques like Burning Hurricane, Energy Burst, Mach Kick, and Neo Solar Flare. Of course, if the Saiyans and Earthlings were pulled into this, you can bet there are a plethora of Namekians here too. There are many interesting members with bizarre backstories, and we're starting off strong. Fargo, a Namekian who was put on a spaceship when he was a baby. The Frieza Force picked him up and raised him. I have no idea why he would be sent away unless he is also another survivor of the great calamity Namek faced long ago. But he doesn't appear as old as Guru and Kami, and the Frieza Force, if it even existed back then, would have been under a different name like King Cold or a predecessor. So he more than likely is a member of Guru's children. He seems to have picked up some bad personality traits from the army as well, as Fargo is seen among the gangs looking to pick off Saiyans before they become too strong. Cetal, a Namekian who moved to Earth. Since he met some bad people, he became a bit of a thug. He seems to associate with ragtag teams of miscreants, and bullies others he finds weak. He's strapped with a pistol, which apparently makes up for his lack of ki attacks. Like most Namekians, he can regenerate, and he knows some melee moves like the Wolfang Fist and Rolling Attack Hercule Punch, emphasizing his bandit and fraudulent nature. Snay, a Namekian who moved to Earth. He attends high school. This kid must have been hitting the gym as well as the books, as he has a lot of moves to buff up his guard and power, along with other support moves like Key Pass. He also knows Ultra Energy Blast and Ultra Solar Flare for more offensive situations. Toranbon, a silent worker-type Namekian who studied strange arts in the demon realm. I find the term worker-type funny, like he's a worker bee. I'm guessing this means he tends to the farms of Ajisa trees. These strange demonic arts include Burning Hurricane, Coma Punch, Devil Might Beam, and Neo Solar Flare. Uzma, a Namekian who moved to Earth. He likes to train and always has a towel wrapped around his neck. This training of Uzma's shines through by powering himself up with support moves and even the Kaioken. He even has a handsome smile he can use to stun his enemies. Imai, a Namekian who moved to Earth. He has a lot of effeminate friends, so he acts effeminate too. He eventually joins Kloa and B-Nas, making a fearsome trio. Bra also uses him as hired muscle to stop Tekka's group. He knows techniques like the Amazing Spear, which is essentially the Gum Gum Gatling from One Piece, Buster Smash, Cannon Rush, Heal Power, and Ultimate Maiden Blast. Datsum, a Namekian who dreams of fighting Piccolo someday. As a fan of Piccolo, he practiced some of his moves, like the multiple special beam cannon variants. Android 76, an evil android created from Dr. Gero's villain database. Actually, he's just a normal Namekian who's surprisingly nice. I'm not sure what that entails, if Dr. Gero just simply modified a normal Namekian, or he's just a Red Ribbon cosplayer. He knows classic android abilities like Rocket Punch, Energy Gun, and Energy Wave Absorption. Thanks to his unique Namekian biology, he joined Cell as the only androids who can naturally regenerate lost body parts. Skarl, a Namekian mercenary who wanders the galaxy. His hired gun techniques include Arts Rush, Decoy, Hellzone Grenade, Full Power Explosive Wave, and Universal Explosion. Ryuto, a Namekian who turned evil in the Demon Realm. He uses absurd magic. Buddy, Namekians come from the Demon Realm, meaning you're just evil all on your own. The realm didn't turn you into this. The magical abilities he learned consist of Paralysis and Magical Thunder. The other techniques he learned there were also Masenko and Minus Energy Powerball. Bongo, a Namekian who lives on Earth. He likes hand-to-hand combat and has enough moves to go head-to-head with the Earthlings. I've neglected to bring it up, but potentially the Namekians who live on Earth may come from the Dragon Ball Online future, where, Mira destroyed New Namek and then they migrated to Earth. Bongo's Street Fighter moveset includes Angry Rush, Decoy, Muscle Burst, Power Up, and Revenge Death Ball. Mai Mai, a Namekian who lives on Earth. Because there are so many women around him, he acts a bit feminine even though he's a Namekian. Mai Mai knows moves like Amazing Spear, Hyper Barrier, Power Boost, Speed Boost, Regeneration, and Mouth Energy Wave. Mekuji, a young-looking Namekian who lives on Earth. Not sure if sarcastic or a mistranslation. Slumber Punch, Mass Containment, Scissors Paper Rock Rush, Turtle School Super Last Resort, and Amazing Spear are part of his repertoire. Gigi, a Namekian who's been traveling the galaxy in order to train. At the Cell Games Arena, Gigi leads a group that takes on Tekka's team. In his travels through the cosmos, he learned techniques like Legendary Sword Slash, Power Pole Combo, Spirit Blade, and Ultra Afterimage. Mulin, a Namekian who looks up to Piccolo. When Tekka meets Guru, he asks them for a favor, to find and set one of his children right, as he started to look up to Piccolo. And not just regular old chill Piccolo, I mean Demon King Piccolo. He starts emulating him and stirring up trouble by going around and insulting people. When Pain gives him a good smack for calling her a shrimp, he apologizes and vows to be nice to others. In his adoration for Piccolo, he learned the Masenko and Super Twin Beam Cannon. However, he didn't end up learning any of his other moves, maybe because he only wanted to learn moves similar to the self-proclaimed Demon King. He also knows, Lord Frieza! Barrier, and Poop Toss, representing his childish nature. Toomlin, a Namekian who's trained in the Supreme Kai's world. He's very aloof. As a Supreme Kai apprentice, he knows mysterious powers like opening the Dead Zone, along with healing abilities and the Dimension Rush. Lugo, a Namekian who came to live on Earth. After he started ingesting things other than water, he got a little fat. Do you think Guru's that big because he was eating people on planet Namek? He can first be found challenging Tekka's team to a race. Once his record time is crushed by our heroes, he feigns an injury and leaves. He eventually shows up in the final rounds of the Time-Space Tournament, leading his team, consisting of characters I'll get into later. Considering it's a 5 vs 5 tournament, you wonder how he got so far with few numbers. Until he gives you a smug little grin, revealing he's got the strongest Saiyan duo backing them up. After his team gets trounced, Goku and Vegeta are done warming up, only to realize that their allies, including Lugo, are too tired to keep going. Goku and Vegeta decide they'll rematch with Tekka later on a different team. Lugo's abilities consist of Dodon Ray, Guard Boost, Happy Dance, Mouth Energy Wave, Unleash Potential, Wahahamea, and Regeneration. These next few Namekians are part of A tier, which puts them on the level of Buu Arc Piccolo, a little bit weaker than him, or maybe even stronger. Escart, a Namekian who came to train on Earth after hearing rumors about Piccolo. He was one of the unfortunate victims of Baby until Tekka saved them. He knows techniques like Decoy, Energy Burst Break, Full Power Charge, Full Power Explosive Wave, and Raging Rush. Shale, a Namekian who left home to work as a mercenary due to his strength. I'm guessing Guru, or Mori, whoever was elder at the time, wouldn't look too kindly on their peaceful people doing mercenary work. The powerful moves utilized in his job are Amazing Spear, Hellzone Grenade, Special Beam Cannon, Barrier, and Death Beam. Death Beam? Using one of Frieza's iconic moves? Yikes, man! Giro, a Namekian who turned evil in the demon realm. He learned how to fight like demons do. Once, a fellow demon named Yama was being pursued by Tekka's team. He eventually brings over multiple allies including Giro to save his hide. Of course, they fail. So this guy returned to his people's original homeland, only to be influenced by the dark forces prevailing throughout the realm. I don't buy it. I think you're just evil in general, buddy. His demonic techniques include Darkness Sword Attack, Revenger Cannon, and Shocking Death Ball. This category compiles all the aliens of Dragon Ball that don't factor into the most well-known races. Granyu, an alien who's mimicking a certain hero who's famous on Earth. This Saiyaman fangirl uses her hyper energy gun to zap foes, along with the move Shooting Bullet. Sirami, an alien warrior who loves hand-to-hand combat and can easily take a few attacks without budging. Judging by that cranium, she is a member of Dodoria's race. Her moves include Monster Throw and Earthbreaker. Parm, an intellectual female warrior. She confuses her enemies with her psychic powers and pummels them. A bullion like Goldo, she is experienced in psychokinesis. Her physical proportions indicate that not all members of her race resemble the Ginyu Force member, despite how Dragon Ball Online portrays them. She is a member of the heroic Doula Force, fighting evil with paralysis-based moves and even time skip to allow one of her allies to perform an action instantly. Vereen, a female warrior who's famous for her sense when it comes to special move names. She claims they just need to be a little long and beautiful. Another member of the Doula Force, the same race as Raccoon. She knows Barrier, Cover, and the ultimate fighting Miracle Bomber. Cronola, a super fast female warrior. She thinks she may be the fastest in the universe. A member of Berta's race and also a hero in the Doula Force. She can boost her speed with multiple support moves and can blitz her opponents with Mach Kick, Angry Rush, and Dimension Rush. Shorny, an alien warrior who's got a really nice body. Shorny's entire strategy is based around the body change move. A member of Ginyu's race, or the body Ginyu was last seen in before the Frog in Taguma. Then again, she's also a user of body change, so it may not be her original body either. She is another member of the Doula Force, utilizing strong moves like Psychic Thunder, Quick Rush, and Happy Dance. Doula, an alien attacker who destroys enemies with her special Crusher Ball. The leader of the Doula Force, obviously, and a member of the Planet Brench inhabitants. She knows moves from Jace and Salza, like Crusher Ball and Super Energy Blade. Maybe she learned Crusher Ball from pitching for the Galactic Little League like Jace did. Saibakeen, a top-grade Cyberman born from multiple Cybermen who fused together. He faces off against Yamcha, who was attempting to overcome his trauma against dying to the original Cybermen. After Tekka defeats him, he runs off declaring he will have his revenge one day. He appears to be not totally evil at heart and sees other Cybermen as his friends. He knows two moves that killed his brethren from the past, being Scattershot and Mouth Energy Wave. He also has perfect regeneration like a Namekian, and knows Dr. Wheelo's Planet Geyser. Beckon, an orthodox alien who fights fair with his well-trained physique. He has a version of Bardock's top and Vegeta's Whis armor bottom, so it's hard to say what point in the relative timeline he would come from. Judging by his forehead pearl, or whatever you'd call it, he seems to be a member of Frieza's race. He's below both Cooler and Frieza in power, but Toriyama said that the Cold family were mutants, so this guy might be an average member of the species. Camarbo has a lot of stamina but is weak-hearted, likes eating 5 meals a day, and safety. This guy shows up on Lugo's team in the final rounds of the tournament. Considering his cautious nature, it makes sense that he knows guard boosting moves along with creating barriers. He must have thought he felt safe and secure with Goku and Vegeta backing their team up. Unfortunately, he couldn't keep up with the other amazing fighters. He distracts his opponents with Lord Beerus, knows the fighting Miracle Bomber, and Scattershot. Kalao, an old man who loves girls of any race. Despite his shallow exterior, he's actually a very talented martial artist. Oh boy, we got another one on the Roshi flight logs. He might be a member of Frieza's race due to the bio-armor body and reptilian appearance. He utilizes moves like Psychic Wave, Containment, Slumber Punch, Dragon Quake, Earthbreaker, and Turtle-style Last Resort. Turmeric, a reliable alien who possesses a balanced amount of melee, ki blast, and psychic abilities. He's known for his outstanding eyebrows. Similar case with Beckon in that the crystal on his head, and even the ears in this case, make me think he's a member of Frieza's race. Though, the eyebrows throw me off. But since they are emphasized, maybe that's unique to him. Tartar, an alien who loves to pull pranks with a straight face. He might be another member of Dodoria's race. His pranks include Lord Frieza, Body Change, Coma Punch, Present Bomb, Dodon Ray, and Minus Energy Powerball. Mustard, tough looking and buff, but slightly cowardly and shy. He can be found on Gigi's team in the Cell Games arena. He knows techniques like Hyper Energy Blade, Hyper Barrier, Ultra Energy Blast, Hyper Energy Gun, and Universal Explosion. Chap, an alien who lives on Earth, likes pulling silly pranks. Presumably a member of Birder's race, Chap knows prank-based moves like Big Galactic Donuts, Body Change, Pro Mimicry, Monkey Business, Serious Poop Toss, Muscle Burst, and Speed Up. Meppel, an alien girl who irritates opponents with her childish pranks. Well, we've been getting a lot of jokesters lately. People who appreciate good old goofs and gaffs. Well, Meppel's funny idea of a prank is to use Cutter Toss like Chi-Chi and slice you in two like you're an Ultra 7 kaiju. Numeg, an unruly alien who lives on Earth. He acts tough, at least. He shows up as hired muscle for Bra in that one mission I kept mentioning. Numeg also appears to run the reception desk at the Time-Space Tournament himself. If that's really him, good job. Nato, a young warrior. He's silent and curt, but always completes his missions. Seemingly another member of Birder's race, but his feet are more like those of Frieza. Then again, we haven't seen Birder with his dogs out, but I don't really want to think about that too hard. Bosco, an alien who's traveled to many different planets. He uses his experience to help others. Presumably another member of the Brench people, he knows many healing and support moves to help others across the universe. He also knows Darkness Twister, Illusion Thunder, Lullaby Punch, Slicing Kick, Super Special Beam Cannon, Turtle Style Ultra Last Resort, and Super Crusher Ball. Futo, a young warrior. He's training hard to learn different moves that will allow him to fight like a real warrior. The moves consist of Heal Beam, Crusher Ball, Milky Cannon, and Dual Edge Slash. Marmad, a very self-assertive alien who never forgets to show off his well-trained body. Elegance is the principle by which he lives. He knows moves like Freeze Beam, Muscle Blast, Super Elegant Blaster, Super Whirlwind Blade, and Ultimate Strike. Peppa, an outlaw warrior who wanders the galaxy. He's got a mean glare and an even meaner personality, but has survived thanks to his shrewd tactics. Peppa is among the group hunting Saiyans in the planet Vegeta area. His slimy methods include using moves like Lord Frieza, Beam Gun, Die Missile Barrage, Galactic Donuts, and SS Deadly Bomber. Kalupa, an old soldier who served the Frieza Force since King Cold was in power. He uses his well-honed techniques to train the younger soldiers. Potentially another Dodoria race member. Like Peppa, he can be found with the group hunting Saiyans. These revered, well-honed techniques of his include a Racer Gun, Lord Frieza, Legendary Sword Slash, Dual Edge Slash, and Shining Sword Attack. He may be proficient in sword moves thanks to King Cold, who showcased some knowledge of swordsmanship in his fight against Trunks. Chiwok, a low-ranking galactic patrolman. Despite the low rank, Chiwok trains hard regularly and possesses adequate power. His super elite techniques include Elite Beam Gun, Burning Attack, Galactic Buster, Mach Move, and Quick Rush. Zalutz, an alien with a metallic body. He can deflect mundane attacks. His high defense allows him to shrug off damage with barriers and guard boosts. For offensive maneuvers, he can use Death Ball, Dragon Thunder, Freeze Beam, Gigantic Flame, and Planet Geyser. So yeah, despite being a B rank, he boasts some pretty destructive capabilities. Within A rank, we already know who of the main cast chill out here, so these would be among the strongest aliens in the universe. Shabet, a villain hunter who destroys evil across the universe. Baba has Tekka's team fight off against a couple groups working for her, as her normal warriors are on break after having so many battles. So she sets up a fight between our heroes and the Problem Squadron. This is a group led by Shabbat, with other super elites from space and time like Chiwok, Granyu, Chowda, and Tiber. After defeating them, Shabbat is distraught and wonders why their teamwork was a bust. Pan points out their lack of coordination, thereby fixing the Problem Squadron's biggest problem. Banya, a female warrior who uses her feminine aspects as weapons. Then, when her opponents are hesitating, she slams them. Scary. These feminine charms are utilized in the Sexy Smile, and then following up with attacks like Maiden Blast, Neko Hameha, and Revenge Deathball. Yuba hails from a dark universe somewhere in the galaxy, uses strange techniques. I assume they mean he comes from a dark galaxy in the universe, but we get what they mean. He comes from a dark, evil place, that's all we gotta know. These strange techniques he notes includes Containment, Dead Zone, Illusion Thunder, Minus Energy Powerball, and Psychic Wave. Tumel, a female warrior who bewitches opponents with her mature aura. She is most likely a member of Zarbon's race, as along with her appearance, she knows his iconic Elegant Blaster move. She charms enemies with Sexy Smile, and then follows up with Freeze Beam, Melky Cannon, or Time Skip. Edame. He used to be part of the Frieza Force, but left in order to test his strength. He then traveled the galaxy and did further training. Appears to be a member of Burter's race. In his pursuit of greater strength, Edame learned moves like Twin Cannon, Melky Cannon, Shooting Rain, and Dual Edge Slash. And with that, we are done with the multitude of aliens appearing in Fusions, but there is one more group of people to talk about. Fusions was way ahead of its time with this category. This seemed to be a group for beings beyond the scope of regular aliens of the living universe, and so demons, Kais, and Majins were all thrown into here. I thought it was weird at the time, but just went along with it. Little did I, or the devs know, that 8 to 9 years later, Daima would explore the idea that along with Namekians, demons, Kais, now known as the Lind race, and artificial Majins would all come from the demon realm itself. So, you can literally see this category as the Demon Realmers. Lullis, a Majin girl who started dancing as a part of her training, then fell in love with it and became a dancer. Lullis is the dancer of the Majin superstar troupe Pepilu. She is also the bodyguard of their group star. Petrona, an innocent, tomboyish Majin girl. She's still new to fighting, but uses her Majin abilities and guts to make up for that. Due to a misunderstanding, Petrona believed that Trunks was eyeing up Pepilu's main star idol in a lecherous way. Pepila, an idol who's currently very famous in the demon realm. She came to the tournament by accident, thinking it was a concert hall, but still fought. Pepila is the lead star of Pepilu, and her group was one of the teams Baba used to fight Tekka's team. After their misunderstanding was cleared up, Pepila hoped that Tekka's team could become real fans of them going forward. Poppin, an off-worlder child who provides support through illusions and magic. He's a bit cheeky, but his innocent nature makes him hard not to love. His magical abilities include opening up the Dead Zone, Scatter Shot, Heal Beam, Instant Transmission, Key Pass, and Super Barrier. Mashima, a doctor who fights to protect his friends on the front lines by using his healing powers. He's gentle, but merciless against evil. He obviously uses support techniques like Heal Beam and Perfect Heal Power, yet he also knows moves like Illusion Thunder and Psychokinesis. Nanmu, a young monk who underwent strict training deep in the mountains. Living so long in the wilderness, he doesn't know much about the world. This sheltered warrior honed many techniques in solitude, like the Buster Rush, Dimension Rush, Evil Blaze, and Psychic Thunder. Harik, a warrior CEO who manages a business on a faraway planet. He joined the tournament wearing a special muscle-enhancing power suit that he developed. This suit allows him to use moves like Barrier, Energy Drain, Energy Gun, Planet Geyser, and Revenger Cannon. Ruby. He looks like a tough thug, but he's actually a weak scaredy cat. He entered the Time Space tournament to look cool, but is actually very timid. He can be seen with rough crowds throughout the tournament, most likely in an attempt to blend in and look intimidating. He joins the squad hunting Saiyans on planet Vegeta, but he seems to only be doing it out of fear rather than malicious intent. B-rank Offworlders are pretty interesting, as they would be on the same tier as Dabura and Kibito Kai. So looking past, Majin Buu, these would be the typical level of the strongest Demon Realmers. Litty. She works as an attendant for a Supreme Kai in another dimension. She's super serious and takes care of her boss's schedule and health issues. They are a Supreme Kai apprentice, the same way Kibito and Zamasu were. Their techniques include instant transmission, mystic copy, heal power, and darkness twister. Pow Pow, a buff Majin who's very proud of his hard-earned muscles. He resists eating the candy he loves so that he can tone his body. Uses powerful techniques like Buster Smash, Energy Cannon, Eraser Gun, and Maiden Burst. Makma, a crafty female warrior who attacks her opponents with her sexy looks and attitude. She specializes in demonic arts and never pulls her punches. These demonic arts include Special Beam Cannon, Paralysis, Sexy Smile, Shocking Death Ball, Shooting Blast, and Super Twin Beam Cannon. Halto, a demon swordsman. Silent and tranquil, he deeply desires strength and never shirks his daily training. His sword techniques include Darkness Sword Attack and Shining Sword Attack. He knows the move Monkey Business, which allowed him to be funny enough for King Kai to teach him the Kaioken. Halda. She used to be a sickly girl, but started martial arts training in order to better herself, eventually going on to take part in a tournament. Her self-improvement led to learning moves like After Image, Arts Rush, Energy Blast, Infinity Cannon, Neo Solar Flare, Quick Rush, Raging Rush, Slicing Kick, Super Energy Cannon, and Spirit Bomb. Butor, a demon in pursuit of martial arts and beauty. He punishes those who misbehave with his Devil Might Beam. Yes, he's a bit scary. As stated, they specialize in the Devil Might Beam. They also know Evil Fire, Mouth Energy Wave, and Quick Rush. Harika, an attacker who prefers melee combat to ki-based. For an Offworlder, she's unusually aggressive and likes to make trouble. Harika uses mostly melee moves like Angry Rush, Dimension Rush, Fake Shot, Fighting Shout, Hyper Spirit Eyes, and Mystic Shout. Nox, a battle-enhanced Majin that magicians created long ago. His main purpose is to fight, and he's done nothing but that since entering the tournament. Created by magicians long ago. Maybe Marba, the person who created Majin Buu, made him? Maybe Nox is a prototype because he's actually weaker than Majin Buu? Who knows? He rampages through the competition with attacks like Blaster Meteor, Ultra Hazard Breath, Majin Kamehameha, and Raging Rush. Ariano, an Offworlder with an accent who uses strange techniques. People often mistake him for an alien due to the way he looks and speaks. I wonder what kind of accent makes you sound like you're just generally a being from the regular universe. It must be like when someone has a southern United States accent, but that doesn't exactly tell you where in the South they come from. Anyway, his strange techniques consist of instant transmission, candy beam, paralysis, dead zone, and the Wahahamea. Mardu, an Offworlder who's been trying to master Tien Shinhan style. Trains daily so that he may someday surpass Tien, the style's progenitor. Very polite. This self-taught Crane-style specialist knows moves like Dimension Rush, Dodon Ray, Instant Transmission, Mass Containment, and Neo Tri-Beam. Parl, a plump Offworlder who is often seen calming people down. Unassuming, laid back, and tends to drag others into his pace. When Tekka's team meets him, he wishes to get the attention of another fighter named Nini and have her join his team. He desires a group of 3 to fight in order to show off, and so Tekka's team seeks one out. They eventually come back with the trio of Kloa, Benos, and Imai. However, Parl is too afraid and just asks Tekka to fight them. After that's all said and done, Parl asks to find a weaker trio next time, but unfortunately for him, Nini was watching. Impressed with the strength of Tekka's team, she asks to join, leaving Parl in the dust. Eventually, he joins Lugo and Camarbo to face Tekka's team off in the final rounds, more than likely eager to get revenge. But he, like everyone else on his team not named Goku and Vegeta, are out for the count by the end. His techniques include Mystic Shot, Heal Beam, Mystic Copy, Mimicry, and the Wahahameha. Nini. She's timid and gets nervous easily, but couldn't refuse her friend's invitation to the tournament. She excels at support moves. You can reject her when she asks to join the team, which briefly makes her very sad and Parl very happy. But Pan will insist that you let her join, meaning she will always be part of the team and Parl will be left distraught. She knows attacks like Shooting Rain, Maiden Blast, and Mimicry. But where she shines is support moves like Speed Boost and Unleash Potential. Ratopa, a Majin who once served as a Supreme Kai long ago. He's usually gentle, but merciless to those who harm him. Remember that these characters come from all sorts of different timelines, but can also come from the regular Dragon Ball timeline as well. If such is the case with Ratopa, he could be a member of Buu's descendants, which all carry the latent power of Kid Buu within them. This means they all have the potential of a little bit of the Grand Supreme Kai's god power within them. His techniques include Spirit Eyes, Angry Rush, Instant Transmission, Heal Power, and Time Skip. Maida, a Majin who studies Kenpo. He's very good at controlling Ki and Ki Blasts. He manipulates Ki well with his moves like Crusher Ball, Darkness Twister, Hyper Spirit Eyes, Ki Pass, Neo Spirit Ball, and Spirit Bomb. Rumas, an off-worlder bodyguard. He's strong, but also expensive. He's very loyal and would even sacrifice himself for his client. He's found as one of Gigi's teammates at the Cell Games. Wonder if Gigi or another member of the team hired him. As his bio explained, he would give his life for his clients, which is why he knows Desperate Cover. And I mean, that's a pretty useful skill in the bodyguarding business. Yama, an evil off-worlder martial artist. He excels in odd powers that allow him to spew out ice and flame, and can also paralyze opponents. Quite the character this guy is. He routinely calls upon evil forces to back him up, and was one of the main advocates for eliminating the Saiyans in the Planet Vegeta area. His array of powers include elemental attacks like Blaze Pillar, Burning Hurricane, Freeze Laser, and Gigantic Flame. He also knows Shocking Death Ball and Revenger Cannon. Paka, a serious, earnest young Majin who studied martial arts moves and philosophy. He's good at hand-to-hand fighting and is a very strong off-worlder. The moves Paka knows include Buster Rush, Dimension Rush, Fake Shot, Hazard Breath, Maximum Charge, and Slicing Kick. As I said before, B-rank off-worlders represent the rank of Dabra and Kibito Kai, some of the strongest Demon Realmers. So now, with A rank, these are beings who have surpassed the multitudes of demons and Majins before them. Neryl, a female off-worlder who served as an aide for the God of Destruction long ago. She excels in time-space abilities. Now at the time of Dragon Ball Fusion's release, there was only Champa and Beerus. So when it says the God of Destruction, emphasis on the, I wonder if that means specifically Beerus. Though she could come from an entirely different timeline with a different God of Destruction for Universe 7. Now it's not really clear if she's an angel, but regardless, she knows some angel techniques like Time Rewind. Her repertoire also includes All Power Boost, Evil Fire, Gigantic Blaze, Instant Transmission, and Super Spirit Eyes. She was powerful, which made her possession by Baby that much scarier. Thankfully, she was freed before her time powers could be used for the worst. Horito, an adventurer who's traveled to many different worlds. He doesn't like to get involved with others, but is very strong. One of the unfortunate victims of Baby that was luckily freed. His techniques include Energy Burst Break, Fruit of the Tree of Might, Mystic Shot, and Shining Sword Attack. Judging by his clothing and appearance, he might be a Konatsian like Tapion and Minosha. Kadula, a demon who fights with a lot of tough guys in hell and rose to become their leader. He wants to go to heaven someday though. Sounds a lot like anime filler Dabra. We didn't see if Dabra turned good in heaven in the manga. This tough warrior learned moves like Nightmare Sword Attack, Devil Might Beam, Dragon Quake, Dragon Thunder, Gigantic Blaze, Lightning Shower Rain, and Quick Rush. And finally, we have our last character with Mirayo, a melee combat queen who once dominated the demon realm. Many both fear and admire her beauty and strength. Depending on your interpretation of Queen here, if we are to assume she doesn't come from an unrelated timeline where the characters are completely different, she could very well have been a queen in the demon realm we know today. She could have been a predecessor of Abra, or even connected to him in some way. She does look similar to Towa. Could she be the mother of Dabura and Towa? Maybe she just completely disconnected. Like Dabura though, she can breathe fire, materialize objects out of thin air, and is a masterclass swordsman. Funny then that she is in A rank while Dabura is in B rank, meaning she is overall more skilled or even more powerful than him. And that just about does it for the original characters of this game. There was quite a lot here, and it goes to show how much love was put into the game. I didn't even realize until recording this audio, this video would become over an hour long. While not every character was very fleshed out, you at least got a feel for all of them if you decided to check their bios, and they help bring to life a world beyond just fusing your favorite characters together. Though, that part's pretty cool too, I guess. I have a feeling I'm missing something though. Can't quite remember. Oh no. 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 Not the hundreds of fusions between these characters.
Turmeric fused with Chowda. Escampa. Escart fused with Ampa. Gatab. Rhubarb fused with Gata. Waf G. Waffin fused with Baba G. Zemjab.